So we're going to jump back into Stephen Bradshaw's testimony to the Post Office Horizon IT inquiry, and the focus on the stage now, after Mr. Ishak has been suspended, getting the statements from the interim sub-postmasters who took over, and it seems like there might be, I don't know, maybe it's just different ways of writing it, but it seems like the interim sub-postmaster did suffer shortfalls with Horizon, although these were for a low value of around £20 or under. Let's jump into the inquiry.
Thank you. Can we please look at poll 0005965? Just in terms of the statement that we've just seen, can you assist us? You said before that Cartwright King sent you a statement to sign. Was that one that we've just looked at? Was that drafted by you, by somebody else?
Drafted by me, that one. That wasn't Cartwright.
That was drafted by you. Thank you. This is a letter from Mr. Ishak's solicitors, and if we could scroll down, they've picked up on the particular wording, the careful wording at the end of your witness statement, and they say as follows. Further to the service of the additional evidence, at page 43, Stephen Bradshaw's penultimate sentence states that no problems or discrepancies have been reported since the transfer to a new interim sub-postmaster, since the suspension of Mr. Ishak in February 2011. With regards to this, could you please clarify whether further inquiries were made, i.e., as, or I think it maybe has, a full audit been undertaken since February 2011, and if so, what was the outcome of that audit? If no discrepancy has been highlighted from a subsequent audit, then please be on notice that we will require the data to commission our own audit. So they're asking you there for what further inquiries were made as to the accuracy of the system post Mr. Ishak, and whether an audit has taken place. Do you agree with that?
Yes, but I'm not sure whether there was an audit put on by Post Office, or whether technically what you've got is that each time the interim postmaster, Mr. Patel, every time you balance, whether it be weekly or the branch trading statements every month, that's actually an audit of what he's got in the branch.
Yeah, but as we've seen in cases of other sub-postmasters where they say we have to sign it off so we can continue trading the next day, but obviously the post office's position is they were signing off something which was inaccurate, which the sub-postmaster have said they've reported to the helplines. The fact that he's very much signed it off doesn't actually mean that it's accurate and that there's no shortfalls. If we use the same theory with the interim sub-postmasters used to replace the suspended postmasters as the post office used with the sub-postmasters that were in permanent positions that they suspended themselves.
I'm not sure if an independent audit took place.
Mr. Ishak is simply his solicitors are simply asking there, could you clarify what further inquiries were made to justify the words that you had included in your witness?
As I explained, the interim postmaster has not reported any issues. He used the same equipment, and he stated, as was put in the statement, that he'd been balancing okay.
And they are effectively trying to test that. They want to test that, and they want to see for themselves evidence of the actual figures being looked at by the post office.
Well, yeah, but the post office would have to put another independent audit on. Now, whether that took place, I'm not sure.
Well, they're only asking a question, aren't they? They're saying, Can you clarify whether further inquiries have been made, i.e., has a full audit been undertaken?
And I expect that they will have been answered by Cartwright King, either without from myself or directly by them.
Let's have a look. Poll 000596692, please. This is an email from Martin Smith of Cartwright King to yourself and to Mark Ford. And he says, just to keep you in the loop, please find attached a copy of a letter which we have received from Musa Patels today. That's the letter we've just looked at. Steve is in the process of taking statements from the two subsequent sub-postmasters who have not experienced any problems with the Horizon system. They have not had any significant shortages.
I mean, surely that's contradictory, having not experiencing any problems with the Horizon system and not having significant shortages seem to be at odds with each other there. Presumably, I would have expected not experiencing any problems with the Horizon system would mean no shortages whatsoever.
I do not propose to ask Steve to obtain the data for the period following Ishak's removal. Given that there were no problems with the system and no significant shortages, it would not assist the defence or undermine the Crown's case. Were Martin Smith or indeed yourself well placed to tell whether there were any problems with the system after Mr. Ishak had been suspended?
As previously explained, the technical issues of the workings of the Horizon system, no, me and Mr. Smith would not be. But based on what they were saying, were there any issues with balancing and the cash and stock that's in the branch at the time, the postmaster that was in place at the time suffered no issues.
So you have the subsequent postmaster who you're taking statements from at this time. You've been asked very clearly by the defence whether an audit has taken place, because front and centre for their defence is the Horizon system and the reliability of the Horizon system. In what sense are we to understand that Mr. Smith has any idea whether obtaining data for that period would have or would not have assisted or undermined the Crown's case?
I think Mr. Smith is going, based on the question, was, that the postmaster in post at the time had balanced each and every week, each and every month, and so I think Mr. Smith has made a decision where that, there is no issues shown, no data would show any loss.
But how would you know that without looking?
Because the data is only about the transactions. If you got the data, all the data would show what transactions you're taking in, so what receipts you've had and what payments you made. And if he is balancing, everything is balanced out. The left and right is at an equilibrium.
Can you see any issue with relying on what a subsequent postmaster has told you and not investigating whether, in fact, there were any technical issues?
In this case, no, because he stated he's balancing okay. He was an experienced postmaster because he had another branch in Dewsbury. So we had...
Yeah, but if you're prosecuting someone, I guess dotting the I's and crossing the T's would be to check the veracity of that statement. There's no reason to suspect that the interim sub-postmaster wouldn't be telling the truth, but you'd think to shore up your own case to ensure there's not any problems down the line, you would indeed also request the audit data, like confirmation of that statement. That data, together with a statement saying there's been no issues, you would think would be extremely strong evidence.
Yeah, he was stating he had no issues with his balancing.
So you don't think that it was incumbent upon the Post Office to, in fact, check whether there were or were not bugs, errors or defects affecting Mr. Ishak's Post Office after his termination?
In that particular case with the postmaster, I don't know what you would expect to find, because everything has gone through correctly.
Well, hopefully nothing, but if there was any issues with the Horizon system, it could flag those up with the audit data. Maybe he missed something.
Sorry?
Everything has gone through correctly, because he is balanced.
Well, we'll look and see what he says. Let's look at what he says now. Let's look at UKGI 000149121, please. First of all, is this your writing, his writing?
Yeah.
It's your writing, so you took the statement. Yeah. And can you assist us with how you would go about taking statements, focusing on this particular statement?
I would make the arrangements to go and see Mr. Patel, and then sort of go through and ask him as it goes through the questions to write it in.
And is this verbatim as you spoke to him?
No, I wouldn't say verbatim to the extent of every word, but it's the what is basically sort of said to him, and then he would read it and check it afterward at the end of it before signing it.
Let's have a look towards the bottom of the page, please. Just returning to your evidence much earlier today, where you said that you signed a statement that Cartwright King had sent you, no questions asked. At this stage, had you had any training or understanding about the duties that relate to the obtaining of statements and how important it was that they were accurate and full and true?
That come from the training. I've been taking statements for a number of years and never been any issues.
He says as follows: I balanced the cash and stock on a weekly basis and produced a branch trading statement at the end of the balancing periods. The weekly balancing and branch trading statement will be done mainly by my son-in-law. So I think his evidence, we can go over the page again, was that his son-in-law mainly did the work, but it was unable to produce, but if he was unable to produce these, either myself or my son would go to the post office to do the balance. During my time as interim sub-postmaster, I did not have any balances that caused me any concern, And when the branch trading statement was produced, I cannot recall making good any shortages above £20. So, first of all, are we to read into that he did have some shortfalls, but they just weren't?
It could, yeah. The way it reads and what he said, he would have been asked whether he had any surpluses or shortages, and he's come up with the figure of round about the £20. He could not recall any shortage that was above the £20 mark.
And are we to read anything into the words "I cannot recall"? I mean, why wouldn't he say I didn't have any shortages above £20?
It's probably the way I've written it.
Yes, because as you said, it's not verbatim. Do you think that those words were yours or his?
He would have been asked. I might have said to him, "Do you recall any shortages?" No, or not above thing, and that's how I've written it. As I said, it's not verbatim saying I don't or I didn't have. What he's saying there is, yeah, he's probably, as you quite rightly said, he's had shortages within the account. However, there's nothing that's caused him any concern because he says it's up to about £20.
And he carries on, during this time I employed 2 members of staff to work behind the counter. Whilst I was the interim sub-postmaster, the Horizon system remained the same. I have never requested any piece of the Horizon kit to be replaced. Now, why is that bit in capitals? I've never requested any piece of the Horizon kit to be replaced.
It's not really in capitals, it's just the way I write it. I've written it.
But it's different to the rest of the writing.
It's just the way I've written it. You could use other, these come, the line above it, which you haven't picked up, is I've got the in capitals. It's just the way I've written the statements. There's nothing untoward. It's just the way that statement is written by me.
Did you see it as an important part of his evidence for him to have said that?
Not at all. It's just, as I said, it's the way I've written the statement. Sometimes it's in capitals. Sometimes it's the way, the shorter notes.
And was this the sum of the evidence from the subsequent sub-postmaster?
All I was asked to go and get a statement from the postmaster to see whether they had any issues with the system in the post office.
We had read that there were 2 subsequent.
I think Mr. Lacar says it. I think a statement was taken from him as well.
And did it say similar things?
I think so. Without seeing it,
Is this the sum of this statement, though, that in fact the author of the statement didn't generally do the weekly balance and branch trading statement? He can't recall making good any shortages above relatively small ones, and that he hasn't requested any part of the actual physical kit to be replaced. There was no subsequent evidence to this. For example, an investigation, somebody looking at the data post or during this particular time to see if it was accurate or not.
We had no reason to disbelieve that Mr. Patel hadn't checked the work within the post office.